The Supreme Court is saving its most significant rulings for the final day of its term today. One case considers the Trump administration's plan to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. The justices are also looking at how congressional districts are drawn. Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court. Jan, I think it's going to be a busy day for you, but let's start with that census case. Why is it causing some controversy?
Well, I mean, it would be the first time that the formal census, which, as you know, is taken every 10 years, would ask people if they're citizens since 1950. The census hasn't done that since back then, and the administration says that it needs that accurate citizenship information, just to properly enforce the Voting Rights Act. But opponents are saying, come on, this is just going to deter non-citizens from even responding to the census at all, which means they're not going to be properly counted. And why is that important? That census data is used for a whole bunch of important things, like, for example, how many seats in the House of Representatives each state gets, and also those billions of dollars in federal funding for things like schools and roads. How is that divvied up? So very important issues at stake in that census case.
Yeah, you've touched on it, Jan, but could you explain why the redistricting cases are so important?
All right, this sounds like a very complicated case, and it is, but the bottom line is it's going to determine how states draw up their legislative districts. The court has long held that you can't discriminate based on race when you're drawing up legislative districts. You can't dilute minority votes, for example. But what about efforts by the political party to kind of hold on to that power and draw up districts just for that purpose? Can that ever be too extreme? So the justices today are going to look at those partisan efforts at redistricting and whether or not that's okay or when it's not okay.
All right, Jan, thank you very much.